It's nice. It's nice.
Chase a check, get a check, get a check, chase a check, get a check, run it back, passports when we fly. What's up, geniuses? I'm back with another episode of Young Creative Genius. And before we get into this video, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. And today, I am here with a special guest, none other than the one of one, JohnGar, man. What's up, man?
What's up? What's going on?
What's up with you, man?
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad you're here, man. For real.
Yeah.
For real. We waited a minute to get this, for real, bro.
It's been a long time overdue.
For sure. All right, let's get into it. So I want to start early. You was born in the Bronx?
Brooklyn.
But
just born there.
Oh, you was born there? So,
yeah.
Like, when did you move to Tampa? Like, how old was you when you moved? Do you have any childhood memories from Brooklyn?
Not at all. Like,
No?
I would literally left Brooklyn when I was like an infant.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so you don't
like 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to get into your childhood. You moved to Tampa when you was 9 months?
No, I moved to Orlando when I was 9 months.
Okay.
Orlando was the first place I touched down in Florida.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how long was you in Orlando?
Until I was like 5, 6 years old.
You got any childhood memories from Orlando?
A couple, but it's like very hazy.
Okay.
Just being at neighbors' houses, just watching TV, cartoons, and just. Well, actually, yeah. There's actually one memory in particular that I remember vividly. Is like when my pops got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could be exaggerating when I say this, but literally, like, I peeped outside the window. It was just like a squad, like a squad of like police officers, and they just like they came to like arrest my dad, and that was like a memory that I had in Orlando, like an early childhood memory. Yeah.
Do you remember like how you was feeling at that moment? Like, did you understand what was going on? Did you just see like cops, like, oh, bad guys, or did you did you understand what was going on at the time?
You know, at the time I didn't understand. I was just very like surprised and shocked. Later down the road, I mean, I got a bad memory, but like my mom tells me like, yeah, you went up to like an officer and you told him like, I don't like police officers because you took my dad away, you know. But other than that, it was just like something I didn't process at the time, you know, because like I was just like a youngin. I didn't have like comprehension like, oh, what's going on back then. So
after your move from Orlando, where did you end up going next?
Panama City.
Panama City.
City. Yeah.
Any memories from Panama City?
Quite a few. Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about that? Like some stuff, like just probably the best memories. You can even talk about the worst in them memories.
The best memory that I have from Panama City is when I was literally hanging out with a couple kids, and it was like 4 of us in total, including me, and we was at a park. There was like 2 other kids that told this one kid, one of my friends that I hanged out a lot with, they asked him like, why are you hanging out with him? Like, you know, they were just pretty much like dissing me like in front of my face.
Yeah.
And like, I promise you, like, it was just like something I respected after this happened. But when they asked that to him, he was like, you know, because that's my friend, you know.
Yeah.
That was like my best memory, period. Like growing up, like someone sticking up for me, you know. It was just something I didn't believe was possible because, you know, I was a little insecure back then, you know, as a kid.
Okay. So is that why they asked that? Like, what was some stuff that like you had going on for somebody to ask? Like, why you with him?
I don't know why. That's not the first incident like kids hated on me.
Yeah, that's how it be.
Like
though.
my peers were hating on me.
The stars that people be hating on for real.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Did you realize that as a kid that you like stood out? Like, that's probably why people hated.
I definitely realized that.
Did you feel like you was like the most hated, like when you was a kid, like just by a lot of people?
I felt like it was just like fake love, and like those people who were like openly, you know, show their like, oh, I don't like you at all.
Yeah.
It was like a mixture of both.
I've been through that for sure.
You feel me?
Did you used to get bullied?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the funny thing is, I was the person bullying people,
Okay.
like in elementary. Then when I went into like, when I moved to Tampa, that's when I started getting bullied. And it was just like, dang, life is really a trip.
Yeah.
You know, it humbles you.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when you moved to Tampa?
11, 12, around
12.
that age, yeah.
And that's really like, do you think that's when everything like really started? Like as far as like where we are today? Like it's just as far as like, cause Tampa, you know, we here now. So just like as far as like all the friends, you know, you getting into your career, like what was some stuff that you was doing when you moved to Tampa? How was it different from Orlando and Panama City?
Man, Tampa, when I moved to Tampa, everything was just like, life got real. Like like my mom wasn't there. Like I was under the care of my sister and her now husband. And like, that was me transitioning from being a kid to like a preteen to teenage years.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't experience, like depression and stuff until I hit, my teens. And being depressed in Tampa or just going through stuff like that, it hits differently. It was just something that's just.
What were some reasons like why you think you was depressed? Probably like new city, homesick?
New city, like I had a very bad first impression. Like kids got on me, like I said, like during middle school and beyond, like I was getting like picked on.
Yeah.
And that's like as soon as I moved here to Tampa, like all that bullying started happening. So and I didn't have my mom's, she was gone. And yeah, I was, like I said, transitioning from being a kid to preteens, hitting my preteens to teenage years. And teenagers can be like a little like in their feelings.
Yeah.
I was definitely one of those kids.
Yeah. Was you like a loner, or did you like kind of have your own crowd of people that you stuck around?
I had my own crowd, but most of the time I was a loner. You
think like when did it start really becoming like you becoming a loner? Was it in high school? Was it like middle school days? Like when did you really like start really becoming like you was feeling like a loner? Like
I would say middle school.
Middle school?
Started middle school, yeah.
How was you in high school? Like how was your whole high school career? Like did it get better, or was it still
was the same thing?
Same?
But yeah, but I had my my key friends.
Yeah.
Someone who's like always to themselves. They always have their key friends. You feel me?
What type of music was you listening to in high school?
In high school, definitely J. Cole, Kendrick, Joey Badass.
Okay.
Kanye, Drake. The typical. Artists. Yeah. And some underground stuff too.
If you compared it to the music you listen to now, you would think it's like a whole different, like a different style. Like what would be the difference if you was to compare it?
Well, back then I was like more into like conscious stuff. Like a food for thought type of music. Now, like I would enjoy some stuff that's just like an artist can literally just be saying gibberish, and I'll be like, yeah, that hits. Yeah. That hits hard.
Is it more so the beat, or do it just be like?
Well, nowadays it's just like
the flow.
It's just like if it's a vibe,
yeah,
that's a fire song.
That's true. That's facts though. That's what a lot of old heads don't seem to get, man. It's like,
but it's like I don't get it twisted now. Like I got my balance. I like both sides. I like those vibey songs where it's just like the lyrics don't matter, but I also like songs that the lyrics hit you. Yeah. You feel me?
You mentioned that you listen to J. Cole, Kendrick. I mean, it's some definitely flavor in they raps or whatever. Like, so you definitely like versatile when it comes to the different type of music you like versus being one mind. They're like, oh no, that ain't music. Because at the end of the day, it is.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because like I was literally thinking about this like a few hours ago. Like I noticed, especially here in Florida, like artists in particular who come from Florida, they're versatile. Versus like an artist from New York, they only got like one style.
Yeah, one sound.
Or Atlanta, they only got one sound style.
Yeah.
But Florida, like you come up from Florida, like an artist coming up from Florida, they could do like 2-3 different type of genres.
Yeah,
you feel me?
yeah.
Styles and
I
rap.
noticed that too.
You
I
feel
noticed
me?
that. Like you would know, like if you hear a rapper from Atlanta, you know, like he's
Yeah.
from Atlanta, or definitely New York. You know that New York
Oh,
sound.
like,
'Cause
he
they
from
all.
New York.
It seems like they all rap on the same beats. You know. Shout out New York though, but
Shout
you just
out
know. You
New
know
York.
when it's
Yeah.
a New York song. Like
You
yeah,
feel me? Yeah.
Yeah. Did engineering or music come first? Like when you did you start engineering or did you start making music first?
Making music.
Making music.
Yeah.
I want to start on the engineering. Now, when did you start engineering?
I started dabbling in 20. That's a good question. Cause like engineering and like producing.
So do you label it engineering or producing?
Well, what do you
Like
What do you
like
mean by
making beats?
engineering? Oh, so producing?
Yeah. Okay. Producing. Yeah.
Producing.
Yeah. My bad.
Producing. Yeah, I started producing before like making songs. Like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Producing. I started that before. I started rapping on songs, and that was like when I was like 16 years old.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to get into it?
It was one of those things that I discovered a love for back in middle school. It was when a homie just like convinced me like yeah, just like, you know, rap with me. And I was like, okay. I did it. And I don't know, it was just like it was like back in the day I will always listen to songs and I will always like critique songs, like, you know, if they just like thin out the hi-hat, that song would be more fire. Or like if they just like change the snare, it would be. And I think that's like where like my interest for like crafting instrumentals came from, just like listening to songs and just like painting my own version in my head. You feel me?
Yeah. Okay. And then when you started making music, how were you when you first decided that you want to make music, and what made you want to start making music?
Like I officially started doing it when I turned 18. I played with it when I was like 17, but I wasn't fully confident. I was fully confident when I was 18. What made me want to do it was being a producer. You don't really have the opportunity to have people like be on your beats, you know, starting off. So I was just like, you know, let me just rap on my own stuff. And that's where it all started.
Okay, and so you are a gospel artist.
Yeah.
You make gospel songs. Was it a time where you didn't make gospel music?
Yes.
What type of music was you making?
Some crazy stuff, wild stuff.
You got some in the vault that we don't know about? You got some
If you look
up?
hard enough, you'll find it.
Okay. Is it everything JohnGar?
What's up?
Everything JohnGar? You had a name
No,
before?
that's I went by acapella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Acapella.
Yeah, cause like I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna call myself acapella, cause like if you place me on any beat, I'm gonna slide on that mug.
Okay.
Like hence the name acapella.
How old was you when you had that name, and when you changed your name?
True, I think I was like 17. Yeah, 17, and I changed it really when I went in jail, 2020. In 2020, I had like a whole like I don't know what to call it, like I knew I needed to rebrand myself, and I was just coming up with all these names. Like at first I thought I was because I really love the and the acapella, and I was thinking, oh, I can make it akara or akarea, you know, something like that. Funny enough, you know, I think it's like akarea. I didn't know this. There was no dictionary in my cell. Okay. And like akarea meant like wise man or something like that. And I literally just came up with that in my head in jail. I'm like, that's a trip. But shout out Brahim Cruz. He gave me my name. Like he recommended it to me back in 2019. He back when I was working at Walmart, he saw my name tag. And I think my name tag have like my full name, Jonathan Garcia. And he was like, yo, it would be fire if your name was like your rap name be like JohnGar. I was like, nah, That's
Oh,
trash.
yeah.
I was not
Wasn't
feeling it
messing with
at
it at
all,
first.
bro. But when I went to jail and I was going through these ideas for names, that name came back for some reason, and I was like, yeah, it could work, but I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold, you know, that's my name. Like,
That's your name, yeah.
I stuck with it. I'm like, you know, it grew on me. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I like
this
it. It's a dope
represents
name.
me.
Yeah.
this is
Short.
like, this is my authentic self.
So you talk about you serving jail time. How much
Yeah.
time did you do? And if you don't mind sharing with the people, what exactly did you spend jail time for? If you want to talk about it.
So
You don't even strike me as the person to be going
I
to
get
jail.
that a lot,
Man.
all the time. My family was surprised when the incident happened. Like around 11 months to a year. It was a long time. But I'm just gonna say it in code. Like, I poked my mom's boyfriend at the time, now husband, and that led me to be incarcerated.
Okay.
I don't know if you caught that. But
Yeah, I caught it.
You
I
caught
caught
it?
it. I caught it.
I don't know if they're gonna catch it. But
So 11 months, like 11 months exactly. So like almost a year.
almost a year,
So,
11 months and some
Like,
change.
you say it was a long time, but for a lot of people, that's not a long time at all. Like
What'd you
for
say?
you, like
For me, like,
I get it for you, but it's like say if like did it go fast
It's
now
super
that
slow.
you here, or was it like now you
Super-
still thinking about it like nah?
no, super slow.
Yeah,
Like, cause
I can only imagine, man.
Cause like jail time is like slowed down, bro. Like, you'll be staring at the clock for fun, like, for real. And
So-
like, I was isolated. Like, I wasn't in general population, so
Oh, okay.
I didn't have no source of entertainment. Like, I was literally by myself, entertaining myself by just like being in my thoughts.
Oh wow,
You
yeah.
feel me?
Was you like really going through it in there?
Yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons why I was there for so long. Cause half of the time I was incompetent. Like, I wasn't in reality.
Was you breaking down like a lot?
Breaking down, yeah, I was breaking down. It was crazy.
So like I want to get back into the music. What's your process like when it comes to like making music? Like, what's the process? What, like, something that you gotta have in the studio, or just like, do you have to pray before you make a song? Like, what's the process before like JohnGar actually makes that song, or a beat?
It's different for creating an instrumental and a song, because it's like two different, like, separate sessions. Excuse me. But creating a song, instrumental included, it's a process, because I'm not that type of artist to just like spend like 30 minutes on a song and then call it, okay, that's done.
I don't understand how people do that anyway, honestly.
Yeah, I really take my
I don't see
time.
how people do that.
Yeah, so I just go about it with going through a whole bunch of steps. First, I lay down reference tracks, picking melodies that I think would like be worthy to be on this track. After that, I fill in the melodies, write the words for the song, and then after that, I have trusted people that go look over it, and then if I get that green light, I'm like, okay, what's the next step? Then I just record and have everything mixed down, mastered, and depending if I create the instrumental, God forbid, that's a whole nother step. That's a whole nother process.
What you doing when you creating the instrumental?
I'm being extra. I'm being more extra.
Like what? Like what you doing? Like
I would literally delay a song to add some live instrumentation. If I have an idea to add a cello, okay, let me I can hear a cello on this part. Well, that's one of the things that I know, like how I know a song is done. If I stop hearing like stuff, like, oh, I can hear this on this, I can hear this on this section, that means I'm done. uh, like if I still hear like things on a song, like I can hear like a choir for the intro, or I can hear like a bridge for this part, then I'm still working on the song.
Makes sense.
I'm not done yet. You feel me?
Makes sense.
So it's very time consuming.
What's like what's the most time you spent on a beat? You say it's time consuming. Like what's the longest that you spent on a beat? Days, months to just perfect it.
It's I think the longest, there's a couple off of my EP Conviction, where I think it's Save the Dead and Outside. Those two songs, the instrumentals, I had for a good minute. Like I think it was like 2022, October 2023, early 2023. Yeah, it was something like that. Like early 2023, January, and like October 2022, like around there, I had the instrumentals. That's like the longest I've ever like held a beat for, you know.
Okay. What would you say
For a
like
song.
what would you say the most difficult part is about like creating a beat?
The structure of a beat, and knowing if something is too much or too little, you know, not overdoing it, or if you're not doing enough, you know.
Yeah. So like with you being a gospel artist, like you're big on Christ.
Yes, sir.
You know, me and you, we always having our conversations. You know, you brought me to church. You like actually get me in the spirit, and you know, you actually like making me find myself and try to get closer to God. When exactly did you like find Christ?
So my journey has been, I wouldn't say like an on and off thing, but like I had my moments where I was on fire for the Lord, and then I had my moments where I was just like, you know, lukewarm. So, but like when I was like really serious to dedicate my life was when I was in jail, 2020. That's when I was like, okay, I'm all for Christ. I'm dedicating, you know, my life for Christ, and just changing everything, dedicating everything for Him, and doing things for Him. You feel me? But it was a journey. It was like a battle, for sure too. When I went out of jail, I had definitely temptations immediately thrown at me, and I'm not gonna lie, you know, I'm not perfect. I definitely fell under temptation and under sin, but it's like after that though, I would pick up. You know, I wouldn't like drop the ball and just like leave it there.
Right.
I would pick right back up. Where I would say I was like just like on fire and just like never, you know, let nothing phase me, was like when there's so many key moments, so many, but there's one in particular where I was just struggling. I had a dark season, and funny enough, this person that I'm going to refer to now is my mentor now.
Okay.
And like I bumped into him at my job, and he lured. It was funny because it's just, since I'm an artist, I'm interested in music. He was playing the instrumental, and that's what lured me in to like talk to him. But to fast forward, he gave me some words. With another individual gave me some words that was with him as well, and then they prayed for me. And after that prayer, it was different. It was like a flame was lit and it was never put out. Granted, the flame was fanned down, but it never like turned off. It was never gone. You know, I had my moments where I was struggling. It was fanned down, but it was still there. Like previously, like if something happened, like it completely went away and then come back, you know, and just rapidly grow. But after that encounter, and when they prayed for me, that flame just stuck. It stuck with me. You feel me?
Yeah. You talk about like having a lot of adversity in life, a lot of trials and tribulations. You know, so I heard you talk about like drug abuse, drug addiction. You want to get into that, and how was you feeling at the time when you was like using drugs? What made you want to like use them? Because I know it's something that had to, you know, come about where you felt like you needed it, or just felt like you needed an escape. So you want to like talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah. So that's crazy, because looking back as a kid, like I wasn't dabbling and stuff like that. Like my peers would do stuff like that, but I was always just like, that really never interested me. I never dabbled in that. Like when it really got serious was when I turned 18. That's when, you know, I started to just pick up smoking. I would literally just like smoke ounces on top of ounces, and then I was like, this is not enough. Then I got into other stuff, like acid, pills. Even though I'm against pills, like even to that day.
Yeah.
But I was just experimenting. It was like a season of just experimentation. Let me just try these things, you know. I think another thing I noticed too now, I realized it's just like that was programmed in my DNA to do stuff like that, to abuse substances. Because knowing my history on my father's side, of course on my mother's side as well, but on my father's side in particular, my grandfather abused drugs. My father abused drugs.
Is this something that you witnessed?
I mean,
or is it something that you think you kind of like was like not I want to say naturally made to do, or just like something that it was easier for you to get closer to doing it?
Well, I never witnessed, you know, my dad shooting up, or, you know, doing hardcore drugs in front of me. I seen him like open up a bottle and mixing up, you know, alcohol with like orange juice, but that's it, just alcohol.
Right.
No shooting up heroin, no meth, nothing. But to go back to what I was saying, it's just like this was like set in my DNA. Like I was pre-programmed to dabble in stuff like this, because I had that generational curse where my father went through what his father did, you know, abusing drugs and substances. And then, you know, I went through, it's crazy because what my father and what my grandfather experienced, drug overdose, experience being incarcerated. I went through all that at such a young age. And I realized, wow, generational curses are real. So I think that's partially why I, you know, dabbled in substances, because generational curses.
So you actually had a overdose.
I had an overdose.
Overdose. You want to talk about that? How was you feeling? Like,
it's a crazy experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know, glorify it or nothing, you know, and I don't mean to say this in a positive way, but when I had my drug overdose and like I had my near-death experience, to tell you the truth, I didn't feel nothing. Like, it was painless.
Was it like a it is what it is type moment?
Yeah, but
you?
like physically, I didn't feel nothing. But from my perspective, it was definitely something that spiritually was a turning point. Like, it's like it was like an order of different things happening all at the same time. Like, when I had my overdose, I experienced things that felt out of touch with reality, you know. That from my perspective. But from my mother's perspective and from my family's perspective, it was a completely different thing. What they saw was a kid just like about to die, like foaming from his mouth, not even conscious. Like, my mom told me, like, yeah, I had you in my arms, like trying to like keep you awake, and they had to throw me in the bathtub. Like, I was literally like, my mom like felt like she was drowning me because she was just trying to like do everything to keep me alive,
man.
But that's a crazy trip. I need to write a book about it, because
for sure, that's
from my perspective, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I want to get back into the music. So you just dropped your project, Conviction.
Yes, Conviction,
yes, man. Congrats on that. I want to congrats you on that.
Worked so hard for that.
Yeah, you definitely worked hard, man, for real. So how do you feel about the project as a whole, and like how was you feeling at the time of making it? Like, let them know like everything that you pretty much like had to go through to just make it possible and just make it come out, man.
Well, I'm very satisfied with the project. Of course, there's always room for improvement and growing. You know, I'm not the type of artist to settle for their last project. You know, this is my best work and I can never progress from this. No, I can always do better and one up myself. But that whole process, I've never experienced that process before. That was definitely a process that it felt like I was creating an album, to be real with you, because I was taking my sweet time. And shout out Joseph.
Shout out Joseph.
He actually recommended that I take my time on the EP, because I gave him the idea, like my single No More. I was telling him, I'm gonna drop my single No More. And then a week later, I'm gonna drop my EP, being in denial of like the whole process of how long it's gonna take to create a EP and drop it. And he was just like, nah, bro, you could just take your time, bro. Why are you rushing?
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, why am I rushing? So I took that challenge and then really sat on the project and didn't release it until I was completely satisfied, you know.
7 songs on it.
7 songs.
What's your like favorite one from the project?
I got a lot of favorites. A lot of favorite tracks, a lot of favorite moments, but
put him on the spot.
Dang. Dang, that's hard.
It's hard.
Okay. Can I say 2?
Yeah.
So my top 2 favorites, one being Outside.
Yeah, I was about to say that one.
I love Outside. Second one being I Pray, the intro for the project. I Pray is such a beautiful moment, I feel like.
Yeah.
Those are my top 2 favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a lot of samples in the project, right? Or
I had a few, yeah.
A few?
I'm surprised, because like I'm usually a sample driven producer, but for this project of course I sample, but I usually OD with samples, but this project I kind of laid off a little bit.
So what like inspired you to sample on like the beats that you produce?
That's just how I came up, bro.
Okay.
Like I came up listening to J Dilla, Ninth Wonder, you know, DJ Premier, like old school like producers who would like sample, who are sample based producers. You know, I was so intrigued with just like how they would chop their their samples and like arrange instrumentals. Q-Tip, Kanye, just how they would just incorporate samples into the instrumentals.
All right, so like, what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated?
Yeah.
It's a really good question. Just seeing how far I can go. Just seeing what's the next song I can create. What's the next project I could do. Um, Creatively speaking, that's what keeps me motivated as an artist. But life in general, I would say, yeah, I want to see how far I can go. That's what keeps me motivated.
And like, if you could go back 5 to 10 years, like, what would you tell the younger you?
Stay consistent. Stay hungry. Keep your head up. Don't give up.
Sir, y'all don't give up, for real facts. Um, okay, what do you have planned like for the rest of 2024?
A lot of projects, a lot of songs. Um, I want to incorporate videos. Um, yeah, just dropping projects on top of projects.
And like singles, videos.
Um, yeah, I had some plans of dropping, um, if God willing, 5 singles. I wanted to keep this a surprise, but I'm surprisingly working on a collab EP with my bro. His name is Critical.
Okay, shout out
So
Critical.
yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a special moment for both of us in our journey. Yeah, it's gonna be a pinpoint for us. That's when you know this happened for them. That's when this opportunity opened for them because of this. You know, and for videos, I know I want to make a music video for No More, but I want to
Okay.
do it, right.
Yeah, you want to do it the right way. Yeah,
If you're not gonna do it the right way, why do it at all?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um, and of course, I want to do videos for some songs from Conviction, but I still don't have the ideas for it. I have some, but it's not that clear. So, and a lot of collaborations with people, people from my city, around where I live, the state, outside of state. Because one thing about me is I love collaboration, regardless what field you're in. You could be a videographer, a photographer, whoever, a producer, a songwriter. I just love collaborating. And not many artists do that, you know. But I find it like very beneficial for me and the other person as well to collaborate because you learn from each other.
Yeah.
You pick up, even if it's in a different art field, you pick up tactics, from them. How to do this, how to do that, or how to maneuver this way, or how to talk to clientele, or how to um, create something that a clientele would like, or how to be better as a creative, an artist, an individual, and a business person. Yeah.
Well, I want to be one of the ones, man, to congratulate you on like everything that you're doing. You
Thank
definitely
you.
doing it, man. You said you was gonna do something first day we met, and we've been doing it, man. So I want to congratulate you and keep it going. Keep up the good work,
Of
man. For
course,
real,
it's
for real.
crazy how we made it this far.
Yeah, we made it far,
We
man.
made
We
it this
definitely
far.
did.
We
Yeah.
still got more to
We
do.
got way more to do.
Way more to do.
Way
We're
more.
not done yet.
But not at all. This only the beginning.
This is just the tip of the
Yeah,
iceberg.
exactly. You want to lead the geniuses with like some motivational advice? Anything? Any last words? You want to shout yourself out? Your social medias, all platforms.
First and foremost, Jesus Christ, is the way, the truth, and the life. I don't know where you're at in your current time, but whenever you feel like you need some help, somebody, something to pull you out of that season or to relieve you of that anxiety, that depression, or that struggle that you're going through, I promise you this: if you rely on Christ, He will pull you through. I can count so many times where I had my I was just down on the ground, like life was kicking me while I was down on the ground. And what brought me up, literally what brought me up, was the truth. The truth being that Christ came for times like these, times like these. Because if I had everything perfect, what was the point of Him? So Christ can definitely pull you out of that thing that you're going through. But on that note, you know, social medias, official JohnGar everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on the podcast, man. For
Thank you for
real.
the
We
invitation,
gotta
bro.
we gotta run it back. For real, man.
Yeah, yeah.
They might want to hear more.
Maybe if God willing.
Yeah. If y'all
Yeah.
enjoyed this video, man, make sure y'all please leave a like, subscribe, comment. Please let me know how y'all feel about this. What y'all want to see from John next. All his platforms, social media, music, anything y'all looking for will definitely be in the description. So y'all make sure y'all click it. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you again, man.
Yeah,
For real.
likewise, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. We out. Peace.
Peace.